Pressure washing or mobile detailing, which one is better, which one makes more money, and which one is easier to start? In this video, we're going to be breaking down every aspect of each one of these businesses and telling you which one is better based upon the outcome that you're trying to achieve. But if you're looking to start either one of these businesses, you're going to need a way to keep up with customers, send estimates, invoices, and collect payments, which are all things that you can do within QuoteIQ, which you can try for absolutely free with the first link in the comment section and the description. And within QuoteIQ, you're actually going to get a checklist of everything that you need to know in order to start your company. Everything from how to make an estimate, how to make an invoice, how to collect credit card payments, how to register your LLC, where to get your insurance, as well as how to set up your website. So be sure to check out QuoteIQ to start your business on the right foot. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Round number one, we're going to talk about startup costs. I want to lead off with pressure washing. For a basic cold water unit that you'd get from Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that, you're probably looking at anywhere between $300 to $500 to get started with your business. This doesn't include surface cleaners, hoses, or chemicals or anything else that you're going to need in order to do the job, but you're probably going to be looking anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 once you get all those things all in. Now you can get an intermediate setup for anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000. This will come with surface cleaners, hoses, tanks, and you can get a cheap trailer as well. If you want more of a pro setup, you're talking anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 depending upon whether or not you built it and if you're using used equipment or you're buying it new. So I would say 3 to 500, very beginner, 2 to 5,000 intermediate, and 10 to 30,000 if you're talking about a super professional setup. For mobile detailing, on the other hand, we're talking entry-level setups, buckets, chemicals, towels, vacuums, $300 to $700. I would say all these things you can get from Home Depot, Lowe's, just like we were talking about before. Good thing about Home Depot, Lowe's is you can always return the equipment if you decide the business isn't for you. $300 to $700 on that entry-level setup. Mid-tier, we're talking generators, water tanks, polishers, extractors, things of that nature, anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000. And if you need to get a van or a trailer, you're talking about another, $2,000 to $10,000 with regards to those setups, as well as insurance. Keep in mind, you're going to be around $400 to $800. So entry level, $300 to $700, mid tier, 2,000 to 4,000, and then if you want to get the van built out or the trailer built out, you're going to be talking about $4,000 to $10,000. And those are for higher level setups for people who want to take this work very seriously. So the verdict on round one is mobile detailing is going to be slightly cheaper to start on a budget, but pressure washing scales faster with more serious investment. So if you guys are looking to spend a little bit of money and get a lot more return, I would say mobile detailing is a good way to go. But if you have more money to spend and you want to make more money in the long term, I would say pressure washing is a good way to go, at least with regards to startup costs. Round number two, we're going to talk about demand and marketing. So for pressure washing, you're going to have a couple different clients: residential, commercial, and industrial clients. For residential clients, we're talking about doing things like driveways, cleaning houses, patios, decks, fences. You could do leaf removal. You could do gutter cleanouts. You can do a lot of different things when it comes to pressure washing. Some of those aren't pressure washing specific, but they're really good add-on services. Those are all the services that you can offer for residential cleaning. For commercial, we're talking about cleaning parking lots. We're talking about storefronts. You can do window cleaning. You can still do gutter cleaning on commercial properties. Some of these can be huge jobs when we're talking about some of this commercial work. So anywhere between, a few $1,000s to we've done jobs up to $40,000, right? So then you also have your industrial work. We've done some industrial work, but not a ton. It also offers another, level that you could go to with regards to the customers that you service. And you have B2B and long-term contracts, which are common within pressure washing. So as far as the demand side, there's demand within residential, commercial, industrial, and also recurring work when it comes to pressure washing. Now, for mobile detailing, we're talking about detailing cars for the most part. You could also detail boats, RVs, and there's consistent demand for this, right? People's vehicles are constantly getting dirty. So you can set customers on a recurring basis, whether that be weekly or monthly. When we're talking about pressure washing, on the other hand, not so much, right? We're going to clean these properties probably one time a year. So we do have some customers that get onto a recurring contract, but for the most part, we're usually talking about once a year. Now, like we said, for mobile detailing, we can get customers on monthly, we can get customers on weekly, bi-weekly, every 3 weeks, whatever the case may be. But the good thing is you have repeat customers that are coming into your business. The other good thing about mobile detailing is with these repeat customers, you're not having to go out and get as many customers. Like if we only serviced one person a day, we need 365 customers to fill, a year. But if we serviced, one customer every single week, we'd only need 7 customers to service them weekly to pretty much fill the entire week. So 7 customers for mobile detailing as opposed to 365 for pressure washing if you wanted to film every day of the year, just to give you guys a bit of an example on that one. However, I will tell you guys this: for pressure washing, because it is a one-off service, you're only doing it one time, the prices that you can command are a lot higher, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in this video. Another thing to note with regards to mobile detailing, you can also service customers commercially and residentially as well. Commercial washing is usually like fleet washing. The only problem is when you get into commercial washing with regards to mobile detailing, you're talking about a lot more volume and less money per. With mobile detailing, you really want to focus in on higher end customers with a lot of disposable income. That way you can make the most money with the least amount of work. So I would say it's a little bit opposite with regards to pressure washing. Commercial buildings or, larger commercial properties lend themselves to being more profitable. With regards to mobile detailing, I would say sometimes that isn't the case. A lot of times it's a lot more work for a lot cheaper unit cost when it comes to mobile detailing. So the verdict on this one: pressure washing has bigger job sizes, but mobile detailing has recurring income potential. Pressure washing also has higher ticket sizes, but mobile detailing, you don't need as many customers. So I think we're going to give the win on this one to pressure washing. As long as you can dial in your lead flow, then you're going to be good as far as when it comes to pressure washing. Another thing that's important is being able to keep consistent records with regards to who you're doing jobs for, the names of all your customers, the estimates that you send out, and the prices that you charge for those estimates. And those are all things that you can do within Quote IQ. Also, either business that you start, you're going to need a web presence. That's why we recently built out Budget Built Sites. This is an AI website generator, which is completely free. All you pay for is the hosting of the website. It generates a professional website in under 2 minutes, and it's 90% cheaper than pretty much any other web developer that you're going to go with. So I'll have a link for that down below in the comment section and the description of this video if you guys are interested in launching your website. But with that said, let's get into round number 3. For this one, we're going to be talking about how much money can you make per day. So with regards to pressure washing, average ticket size on a residential property is going to be anywhere between $300 and $1,200. I know I'm giving you guys a pretty big span there, but the important thing to remember is this is all dependent upon your location, your lead flow, and how much competition is in your area. In a lot of locations, the cost of living varies, and that's going to vary on this price. So average residential job, anywhere between $300 and $1,200 per day. Now, when we're talking about commercial, I would say anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 is going to be a good average price. But like I said, we've done jobs that were $40,000. So it really depends. The ceiling on commercial is a lot higher for pressure washing than it is with regards to mobile detailing. We're going to talk more about that here in just a second. So 1 or 2 jobs per day can make you anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 when it comes to residential, and commercial jobs, you're talking anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000. So we're talking about high ticket jobs that are low frequency. Now for mobile detailing, you guys can expect to make with a basic wash and vacuum anywhere between $50 to $100. I will say that mobile car places kind of put a damper on how much you can charge with regards to mobile detailing. The beautiful thing is you're selling a service where you come to them and take care of their vehicle. The only problem is if they have easy access, which a lot of people do now, to car washes, sometimes that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to make sales. However, we are selling a luxury service with this mobile detailing, so it's just important to remember, and it's something that just drives down the price a little bit. So something to keep in mind. For a full detail, we're talking anywhere between $150 to $300. If we're talking about ceramic coating, it's going to be closer to $800 to $1,400 a car. And with 3 to 6 cars every single day, you're going to be making anywhere between $300 to $900 or more with upsells. So the important thing to remember with both of these industries that you can go in, the initial service that you offer is great, but what's better is coming back to do recurring services for these customers. So the verdict on this one is pressure washing is going to take the cake because it does have a higher average job size, but mobile detailing, in its defense, can match it with volume and upsells. And an important thing to remember, you guys, whatever business you go into, upsells are very important. So with that said, let's get into round number 4. What are the worst parts of each of these businesses? Because it doesn't matter how much money you can make. If you absolutely hate what you do, then it's going to be a nightmare. With regards to pressure washing, it's important to remember that this is seasonal work. If there are colder climates, there's going to be a lot of times where you're not going to be able to work. And this is very similar when it comes to mobile detailing. Obviously, if it's at a freezing temperature outside, you're not going to be able to spray water as well. So this is a negative on both sides. Also, equipment breakdowns and upkeep. With regards to mobile detailing, there's going to be less equipment breakdowns, and when there are, they're going to be less costly than on a pressure washing job. So we're talking about vacuums, small washers, maybe generators. These are less expensive than if your pumps are going out, if your hoses are bursting, if you need new tips because the SH is clogging them up. So I would say the equipment breakdown is something that's terrible, as well as, knowing how to fix these things. You're going to have to know how to fix a lot more things running a pressure washing company than running a mobile detailing company. So equipment breakdown and upkeep is something to definitely keep in mind. Another one is SH chemicals can be hazardous. We're dealing with bleach that is going to kill the organics on all these properties. Breathing it in is hazardous. Getting it on your skin is hazardous. And a good thing about mobile detailing is you're not necessarily having to deal with bleach. You're still dealing with chemicals to a certain extent. I would say that they're not as harsh as SH, or for that matter, degreasers and other very harsh chemicals that you're needing to use in order to clean these properties properly. Last one is staining, oxidation, property damage risk. We're talking about dealing with people's most valuable assets. We're cleaning their homes. This is, some homes are $300 to $1,000,000. And some are upwards of that. So we're talking about causing damage to these things could potentially cost you a ton of money. So that's why insurance is so important. But property damage risk is also another downside to pressure washing. Mobile detailing, on the other hand, is very time consuming, especially for, interior jobs, especially if there's hair on the interior, dog hair to be exact. So that's something to keep in mind with regards to your pricing. Also, it's physical labor. So lots of kneeling, lots of bending over could be tough on the back. I mean, pressure washing is as well, but I think that working in cars kind of takes it up to another level of kind of being in uncomfortable and awkward positions. The next one is weather dependent, right? You cannot detail in the rain. You can't detail when it's lightning outside. You really can't wash in that weather, to be fair. But I would say that mobile detailing may be a little bit more weather dependent than pressure washing. Next one is harder to scale without staff or a shop. You're going to reach a point in both these businesses where I can't do any more work. I've reached my limit. So I would say, I think it's a little bit harder to scale a mobile detailing business because you're having to make up in volume for what you're lacking in ticket size. So for a one-man operation, I would say it's probably a little bit more you can make more money with pressure washing than you can with mobile detailing. So the verdict on this one is detailing is more tedious and detail-oriented work, while pressure washing is riskier with chemicals and property liability. So I would say that the negatives on this one, pressure washing is going to lose. I would give mobile detailing less negatives than pressure washing. So something to keep in mind. Round 5, let's get into scalability and growth. Okay. Pressure washing is easy to scale with commercial contracts, right? Add-on services, roof cleaning, window cleaning, gutter cleaning. You could even get all of your homes for holiday lighting when it comes to that time of the year. So that's all really good things with regards to scaling. The more things that we can offer our customers, the more value that we can offer them, the more money that we are going to get in exchange for that value. Also with pressure washing, you have the ability to sell the business. You could do franchising. You could do a bunch of different things in order to scale it and grow it, which you also have the ability to do when it comes to mobile detailing. So mobile detailing can scale into detailing shops or mobile fleets, which I've seen a lot of people do with their detailing business. Upsells, ceramic coating, paint protection, PPF, tinting. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can even start to get into modifications on vehicles. And then you also have a luxury niche, right? You have high ticket clients that want you to come on a recurring basis. And I would say that's how you win with mobile detailing. You get high end clients that pay you a lot of money to do the ceramic coatings to keep the upkeep on the vehicles. And you don't have to have that many of them in order to establish a good business for yourself. And maybe you bring on another truck that just does route work. It does commercial work. It does fleet washing and things of that nature that you just plug somebody in. They don't have to worry about being too detail oriented. The goal is just to get as many cars cleaned as possible. So the verdict on this one is both are scalable, but pressure washing is going to take the cake on this one as well, because it is a bit easier to scale as a solo operator with fewer moving parts, because there's just a higher ceiling. With pressure washing, you could easily get to $250,000 a year with just a solo operator. With mobile detailing, it's going to be a little bit harder because, like we said, you don't have as much time in your hands unless you're able to work a contract with, let's say, like a couple car dealerships in the area where you do all their paint protection or you do all their ceramic coating. So I could see areas where you could scale in both. I would say it's easier to do within pressure washing. So for that reason, pressure washing is going to win the scalability and growth. Let's get in round number 6, and we're talking about skill and learning curve. Okay. So pressure washing, there is going to be a kind of a steep learning curve. Techniques matter a lot, but they are easy to learn. And that's why we built the How to Wash 2 course. In that course, we go over which chemicals you need, how to mix them, how to clean every surface on a residential and commercial property, what equipment you need, and everything else from procedures from start to finish with regards to running a pressure washing business. There's a lot of things that can go wrong on a pressure washing job. As we said before, this is an industry where you're dealing with people's largest assets and you don't want to damage those assets at all. And that's why we built out the training program. I'll have it linked down in the comment section and the description of this video. So if you're serious about starting a wash business, definitely check it out, because things go wrong. If they do, then you're going to be out a lot of money, especially if you ruin things like wood. Wood is very temperamental. We've gotten chemicals in places that I don't even want to talk about. We've gotten chemicals behind outlets. We've had to call out electricians and things of that nature. So anyway, with regards to pressure washing, there is a learning curve, and I would say that it's a little bit steeper than the learning curve on mobile detailing. As far as pressure washing goes, you don't need a certificate, but if you want one, it does help to put it on the website. It does help to send to customers, and within that How to Wash course, you can actually get certified, How to Wash certified. And in the How to Wash course, we also cover commercial and residential. So that way, it's not just one-sided. You need to know what to look out for on each individual property, and you need to know how to clean every surface on those properties. So YouTube, How to Wash course, field testing, all that is what you need in order to be a solid operator. I would say that it's going to take you more time than for me to say, hey, go out and vacuum this car and wash the outside of it, if that makes sense, especially when you're dealing with certain chemicals and things of that nature. So pressure washing, pretty decent learning curve. Now let's go into mobile detailing. I would say that the learning curve here is a little less steep with some of the, entry level things that you're going to be doing. You don't really need to know a whole bunch. If I said, hey, wash the car, vacuum the car, you don't need to you can watch one YouTube video and be on your way with regards to that. I would say that, with regards to some of the chemicals, some of the coatings, some of the buffing and things of that nature, I would just watch YouTube videos. I'm sure there's some great courses out there on how to do mobile detailing super properly, so you don't mess up anybody's car or anybody's paint. But in my personal opinion, I would say that the risk is a little bit higher and the learning curve is a little bit higher for pressure washing. I could be biased. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. But I think that mobile detailing actually wins this one because it just requires less, and I feel like it requires you to know less in order to get started and start making a good amount of money. So final verdict on this one: which business is better? If you're just starting out, maybe you got $2,000 to $5,000 budget, I would say that the winner is definitely pressure washing. With the right information, like that How to Wash course, you can learn everything you need to learn pretty quickly. Fewer products to manage. You're not managing, all kind of different chemicals and things unless you're using those chemicals for upsells, but you can start really basic when it comes to chemicals. You have higher ticket prices for both commercial, residential, and industrial, and it's also easier to scale faster with just one person, as we mentioned. Now, if you love cars, if you're detail oriented, and if you want repeat customers, if you don't want to have to go out every single month and figure out where your customers are coming from, I would say that mobile detailing would actually win from that aspect. With mobile detailing, we got those recurring customers, a lot of services that we can offer that's going to raise that ticket price. I would say that people are going to take them less often than they will with pressure washing. With pressure washing, I think it's easier to sell a roof wash to a customer who needs it than it is to sell a paint protection to somebody who doesn't know they need it. But I would just say that there is a bigger market for pressure washing. A lot of HOAs require it. But on the other end of that, mobile detailing is also very appealing because everybody has a car. Not everybody owns a house. You got to think there's probably, 2 cars per household, right? And everybody who lives anywhere has a car, right? So 2 cars per house, and then people who live in apartments. Basically, if you're going to get anywhere, you need a car. So that would probably be a win for mobile detailing. But also a negative for mobile detailing is the fact that car washes exist and you could get a subscription for $30. So it really just depends. You can kind of go either way and nitpick these. I would say if you have less of a budget to get started, mobile detailing is a good thing to offer. Requires a little bit less upfront knowledge, requires, less capital in order to get started. But maybe you mix these two together, and maybe that's the best way to go, because at the end of the day, we want to stay busy. So maybe offer pressure washing as a higher ticket offering. You can use that same pressure washer to do mobile detailing in the beginning. At the end of the day, we want to get business. We want to do jobs. We want to make money. So I would say go first where there's the highest demand. That's probably mobile detailing. Leverage those mobile detailing clients into pressure washing jobs down the line, and repeat and rinse at that point, basically, because you can get those mobile detailing clients on retainer, and then you can sell them, other services as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what business you think wins down below. And I'll hashtag your real one. But my name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. Until next time, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.